Ahoy, mateys. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Um, I was just 30 seconds ago, I was still on Bob's live stream there. I need to get a hold of Nettie about the t shirt because now I got it written down what dates are. I got it circled on my calendar. Uh, yeah, should be it's a Bob and Nettie raid. All right, James, thank you. Um, Yeah, uh, I wrote it down here, January 16th through 24, and I am already signed up. Now I just got to remember to get a hold of Nettie about the having my channel name on the T-shirt and getting a couple of those. Weekend RVN, welcome aboard, Millie. Is this Millie or is it James or both? Welcome aboard. This is great. Um, oh, good, James. Great. You know what? Papa Drew talking about those ribs. Oh my! I'm I'm starting to get hungry right now. Makes me want to do some ribs today myself. I won't have time. Dang it. Bob Galloway got a hold of me. So Todd Johnson, welcome aboard. Linda, welcome aboard. Tom O, ahoy. Uh, I had some good news. A few of you knew that my phone died on me a couple days ago, and I went to the Verizon store in Greenville. I'll tell you what, I was glad I went to that one. I had no idea. I figured, oh boy, same old, same old. Get some person that sometimes they don't know what they're doing. I swear. The guy I got, I'd recommend him to anybody. He knows what he's talking about, and uh, fortunately, I had insurance on my phone, so just like they said, the very next day, bam, box with brand new phone and charger and everything and SIM card, all of that on my front porch. Boom. Well, I didn't bother with it last night. That's when it came yesterday, but I didn't bother with it last night because I was tired. It worked hard at Tom's house, and I was going to stop at the Verizon store on my way home yesterday because I wanted to talk to that guy about their deal that they've got going for these tablets. Kind of entertaining the idea of getting a tablet. And it sounds like it's a good deal, but I need to know a little bit more what all that tablet can do. I know it can't make phone calls or uh, text type, through your phone. It won't do that. But what I want to find out is, well, can I live stream from it? Can I type in chat? Can I watch YouTube? Can I, yeah. And how many ports does it have on it? What if I, what if I want to use it to upload a video? You know, things like that. I know it comes with 15 gigabyte um, automatically per month. Um, I've got 35 gigabyte right now. Um, on my MiFi. Well, no, I got 30 on my MiFi per month, and then I got 5 gigabyte on the phone, which I've hardly ever used, but maybe I'll start using it more. Um, Finally got it figured out. I didn't know what was going on for a while there, but they sent me this interesting little tool. Yeah, how tiny that is. And that's how you change your SIM card, at least in this Android phone. This is a Motorola. I forget what the model number is, but did I have the box around here? I don't know. Doesn't matter. So one of the cheapest Android phones they have, but you know what? It does everything I need it to do. I'm not likely to use it for live streaming or anything like that. Okay, Frederick, that's good to know. Boy, everybody's coming in here and I'm missing them. Margie's here, Rhonda's here, Frederick's here, of course. Empath, ahoy! This is great. This is great. I should scroll up a minute and see if I missed somebody. I probably did. I think I'm getting close. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going fast. So yeah, I got the new phone and I got it figured out. I have to learn a few things on it yet, but you know, I'm getting better at it. I think I got it where it's synced now, where with Captain Jack's stuff. Whereas before it wasn't synced. It was synced with my real name, and trying to change that, and gradually stream the stream. Yeah, well, you know, ships in the stream. That's what we do. This is how we do it. Welcome aboard, Badge. Great to see you. Jane's Catanese had some good news too. I almost got a hold of you, Badge, but Neil got a hold of me after I requested him to get a hold of me, and he did. And he has managed to help James find the hand controls. So James is going to be set up with hand controls, if not already, soon. He needs it. I think after the Mayberry meetup that you have your surgery there, James? So anyways, yeah, I thought that was cool, Badge, that Neil got a hold of me, and I managed to get through Neil what James needed, and I think all is good. Everybody's helping everybody. That's what we do. I think I'm going to petition the country of Canada to open the damn border. Who do I have to petition? Yes, he is, Margie. He certainly is. I know he's not been up to par for a couple months now, at least, but he's starting to get back in the saddle, and that's good. That's good. No surgery, James? Well, that's terrific. That's even better news. Yeah, I remember one of the videos. Wait, actually, I think Neil did the video where you and Neil and there was another guy there. Can't remember what his name was, but it was last year. You were building that that little kitchen trailer type thing. That I know the guy that was awarded that. I haven't watched his. He has does a podcast. Interesting guy. He's authored a book or two, and yeah. Badge will probably remember the name because I can't. Dolphin. Did you see that dolphin? They're like squirrels. A Hurst shifter. Okay. Anyways, I'm glad you're all here. As you saw on my topic, or you might even see it now. Yeah, you probably see it down there. I see it up above me. But I don't know. I just got to reminiscing last night before I nodded off, and I think I dreamed about it. You know, But way back in 1972, almost 48 years ago, uh, my buddy and I, neighbor, friend, great friend, we decided that we wanted to travel to California from Michigan, and it took us a while. He bought a 1965 Dodge van, very similar looking to blue van Dan. Almost ours was green. Blue van's obviously blue, but pretty much the same looking. His is a '67, I believe. This was a '65. Little six-cylinder, uh, 3-speed on the tree. You know, uh, uh, the doghouse, which I kind of miss those dog houses. They were. Hang on, person at the door. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm coming. Hang on. My wife. Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 packages on the couch. Oh, come on. I'm trying. I'm doing my live stream. I'm back. So, yeah, Holly's sister had to stop by and pick up some. We had extra groceries and stuff um, that we gave to her, and she brought some packages in, and that were on the porch. So it all worked out, but just inconvenient timing. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Uh, Smithy's Contiki, welcome aboard. All the way from across the pond. Just so if you don't have a channel that you see here, go check them out, because every one of these channels that comes in here is awesome. 7 Dodge with doors on both sides, very rare. Oh yeah, that would be rare. Yeah, the one that my friend Steve had, 2 doors, whatever, 1 door, but it was 2 doors that opened on the passenger side, and then 2 doors in the back. And we built it out. I mean, it was paneled and carpeted, and nice speakers in the radio. We had my 5-band CB radio hooked up in there. It was a nice. Yeah, I mean, it was in '72. It was already, had some rust on it, because we're in Michigan. It had probably 65, 70,000 miles on it too. And back then, if you, Holly, please, I'm live. Everybody can hear you. Dolphins. Yeah. So yeah, we had over the wheel wells. We had, bunk on each side, and we had a little kitchen at the back. A little slide out drawer with our little 2-burner gas grill, and I mean it was set up for living and traveling, and we did. We left day after 1 or 2 days after Thanksgiving, and we headed out. We spent first time in CB radio, Citizens Band radio. Truckers use those, Linda. Still, Synchronicity is going to have one. They're a good thing to have on the road. I mean, yeah, we all got cell phones. We all have. Some people travel with walkie-talkies, which is a good thing too. Walkie-talkies are actually on whatever channel. You can pick up the walkie-talkies on a CB radio and vice versa if you're on the right channel. Most Citizens bands, they have like 23 different channels that you can go to. Truckers use channel 19. Yeah, James knows what I'm talking about. Long time, forever trucker. Breaker 19. What's your 20, James? Oh, I know, you're in Pennsylvania. 40 channels now? I did not know that. The one I have, I think, is a 23. And I have not tried. It was just given to me. I've not played with it. I think I need to buy a power mic for it. I have an antenna somewhere. Let's see. Oh, and I think there is that feature on there where if I go to PA, I can talk through the speaker on the roof of Synchronicity. Somebody cuts me off, I'll just put it on PA and say, hey, you want to get run over by a 1992 International Schoolie? Oh, hang on. Holly, I am. Wow, that's cool. But I'm on my live stream, okay? Okay. Single side bands. Yeah, I've heard of that. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I was talking to somebody. Just wrap a chain around the bumper of my. Well, I had it in my truck for a while, but we could do it. We did it when we were traveling. We had a 30-foot chain. She's throwing things, empty boxes. 30-foot chain, and we'd get close to a body of water, and at night drop that chain in the water, and by gosh, you could talk skip all over, coast to coast. It was pretty cool. Depending on the ionosphere, if it was stormy, sometimes it wouldn't work quite so well. So, yeah, we left in the Dodge van. We left a couple days after Thanksgiving, and we stayed one night in Chicago. I didn't care for Chicago, but my buddy had some friends there, and so it was a place to park and sleep in their apartment rather than sleep in the van. Which I was looking forward to sleeping in the van. But it was winter. I mean, we left and it was snow. We had probably a good foot of snow already here in Michigan. And I was looking forward to getting as far south as we could get as soon as we could. So anyways, we day after that, pop-ups. And I'm not keeping up with the chat. So Well, I'm sorry, Linda. Yeah, I think you would love to use the CB. Hmm. That's that's a bummer that somebody. Yeah, they probably just pawned it. Wasn't like they needed a CB. I hate that stuff. Um, thank you, Amy. Uh, so we left Chicago. We headed south on 57, and I think the very next night we were all the way to St. Louis. Got to see the Arch for the first time. Um, we didn't go to the Arch, but we saw it from 44. And the other side of St. Louis, we found a campground and stayed overnight. It was cold. It was not. It wasn't warm. It was below freezing. At least we were out of the snow, though. So that was nice. And then we continued on. Uh, Oklahoma was interesting. We, my friend Steve decided that he really wanted to have a hamburger, and we didn't have any hamburger with us. So I said, well, we could stop at the store and get some, and, find a place to park and eat. No, I want a cooked hamburger. Okay. Now, mind you, this is Oklahoma, 1972. I said, well, yeah, and there wasn't the plethora of McDonald's or Burger Kings. I mean, unless you were closer to a large city, you didn't see those places. They just weren't there. Now they're everywhere, of course. Um, so I said, well, other than find a mom and pa, which we didn't even call them mom and pops back then. We just called them restaurants, or cafes. Well, this is kind of getting towards the evening, about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I said, you know what, Steve, the best place that I ever had hamburgers has always been a bar. Okay, so now in Michigan, we were legal at 18 years old. We are now 19 years old, and we're in Oklahoma. But I said, I don't think they're going to throw us out, you know, of a bar because we're not of age to drink in Oklahoma, and we're not going to. I didn't back then. I hardly ever drank a beer. I did sometimes, but most of the time, no. I let Coca-Cola's fine or whatever. And he said, "Well, okay." So all of a sudden, we saw this bar, and we pulled in, and a little bit of a mistake. Now back then, yeah, I know you're not going to believe this. I had short hair. I had a mustache, no beard. I was clean shaven, except for the mustache. Uh, my hair was short. On the other hand, my friend Steve, beard, mustache, long blonde hair. We walked into this bar and no, we we could hear the comments. It was almost like that song. Is that a girl or boy? And it was nasty. It was nasty. And I stepped up to the bar, and the bartender, he didn't even come over. He was busy talking to some other cowboy down at the other end. And I finally looked at Steve and said, Steve, shut your mouth. We're leaving. Why? I said, shut your mouth. You can't hear what's being said? He said, well, I thought I heard something. I said, well, just don't listen. We're out of here. And we did. We left. I said, go. We're going to have to find somewhere else. And we did find eventually a restaurant and didn't have any problems. But yeah, it was interesting, quite interesting. So the next day we found a campground. I forget where it was. Didn't cost us anything. It was kind of like nobody was around. Now, mind you, back then this is winter time. Going into the first part of December, um, you didn't see very many nomads, so to speak. Um, Once in a while, you might see a motorhome or a travel trailer, but just we didn't see any. I mean, once in a blue moon. But it wasn't until we got out in Arizona that we even camped next to somebody who was also doing the same thing. You know, well, on a grander scale, it was a Prevo. That was an interesting campfire night. Tell you about that soon. So, anyways, yeah, on through Oklahoma and on through Texas. Now we stopped at my friend's. Well, Steve knew this lady too. She had been a neighbor down the street from us all of our lives. I used to mow the lawn and wash her car. My mom and her were very good friends, and well, she decided that it was a couple of years, like in 1970. She decided to sell her big old farmhouse, and she did, and she bought a place in Borger, Texas. That's kind of the north part of Texas. And the weather was great when we got there. It was like 45, 50 degrees. It was nice. It's nice. And she had a very nice house. Very interesting house, actually. One whole wall in there was this beautiful, rich walnut. And it's like, wow. She says, yeah, that's one of the reasons I bought this house is because of that wall. I said, well, Mrs. King, that just is amazing. And she says, yeah, it came from Chicago. Mind you, this is a house built in Texas, but the wall came from Chicago, and it was from the original Wrigley office building that they tore down and built a new one. The Wrigley Spearmint Gum office building in Chicago, and they tore it down back in the 60s or 70s, and whoever built this house, they had a part of the Wrigley building in their house. It was really neat, very neat. I thought it was cool. What don't you believe, Linda? You've been on there for a while. Is chat dragging? Am I dragging? I don't see anything buffering on my end. Or did everybody leave? Excuse me. Wow. Catch in the throat. Anyways, so we stayed there. It was nice. We had great meal, of course. Oh man, could that lady cook? Awesome. Anyways, then we left there and made our way through New Mexico, which totally enjoyed. And then in New Mexico is where we met up with, I thought it was Arizona, but no, it was New Mexico. We were camped, and it was really cool. Yeah, gypsies. That was before Willie Nelson even came out with that song. Anyways, we had a campfire going, and the sunset was awesome, and we were roasting hot dogs and making s'mores, just having a great time, and we saw this big old motorhome. It was a ways from us. We didn't park right next to them by any means. Probably a good tenth of a mile, probably. You know. Anyways, here comes this guy, comes walking up, and had, had a beer, and he had this little tiny cooler with 2 or 3 more beers, and offered us beer. So, yeah, cool, sit down, and we had we did have an extra chair, folding chair. We had 3 of them exactly. Don't know why we brought 3 because there was only 2 of us, but we had 3 folding chairs. I guess we were expecting company, maybe. But yeah, he sat down, and we enjoyed the fire, and we enjoyed the conversation. He pretty much ran the conversation. We're 19 years old. He's was in his 60s, and of course, we saw that Bluebird. No, was it Bluebird? Provo. It was a Bluebird motorhome. Nice. We didn't see it that night, but we saw it the next day. But anyways, back then, a Bluebird motorhome was one of the most expensive out there. Way beyond my pay scale. But he told us the main thing that I remember that I took away from listening to this guy talk. He says, I owe my success to buy and sell. Buy and sell. And he said it over and over again. Buy and sell, boys. Buy and sell. Well, the times that I have kind of took that to heart. It does seem to work. I did eBay for a while. It was okay, and I owned a restaurant. That went okay. Same kind of concept. You buy and you sell. So, and you make a profit somewhere in between there. You should make a profit. That's the idea, anyways. Wow. We are cruising right along. Scott Jacobs is here. Welcome aboard. Teachers on Adventures, welcome aboard. This is great. And Amy, thank you for helping me keep up. Saying hello to people. Jim's here. Welcome aboard, Jim Bertrand. Rances Rogers. Hey, I heard you're in review. Is that correct? You're getting close to monetization. Congratulations. That's great to know. So, dolphin? No, not really. This time I think it was a squirrel. But okay, so New Mexico. Let's see. We went to White Sands. We spent a couple days in New Mexico. Then we moved on to Phoenix, Arizona. Well, Steve's uncle lived in Phoenix. I think the neighborhood was Scottsdale. I don't know. It was a nice neighborhood, and it was like, was it my birthday? Yes. No. We celebrated my birthday at Mrs. King's house in Texas, December 13th. Anyways, we're now in Phoenix, Scottsdale, and it was like 65 degrees. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is December. We're from Michigan. I was just enjoying it, and I would imagine they still probably do this. Most people, they don't even know what a lawn sprinkler is. They don't own them, at least not in that neighborhood, because on a routine basis, they open up a valve somewhere off the reservoir, and everybody has these little ditches around their yard. Well, next thing you know, the water has risen, and their lawn is basically flooded for just a short while. But I mean, it's inundated with water. You could almost go out there and swim in it. Okay, so and then after a bit, the water drains down, and away you go. Everything's been watered. Well, Steve's uncle had just put fertilizer on his lawn to help green it up some more, and he used steer manure. Okay, so for some reason, the heat, the smell of the steer manure, and I don't know what else. That night, I got sick as a dog. I mean, just terrible sick. And Steve's uncle said, well, here you go. Here I go what? I'm just, I was aching all over and just felt horrible. No appetite whatsoever, just sick. Well, anyways, he said, here, he gave me a warm glass of whiskey and honey. He said, drink this down. Okay, so I gulped it down just like he told me to. Okay, Mom. But anyways, he says, now go to bed. They had guest room, whatever. And so I went and lay down. This is like 6 o'clock in the evening, I went and lay down, and I didn't know anything until 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and my fever had broke. The sheets were soaking wet, and fortunately I remembered where the bathroom was. Oh boy. But after I eliminated through throwing up, yes, it was awful. Rants of the Rogers. But anyways, I felt on top of the world. And Steve's uncle got up. He says, here, we'll quick change your sheets. He says, how you feeling? I said, I feel fantastic. He said, yep, the old home remedy, whiskey and honey. I just felt on top of the world. The next day, we toured the city of Phoenix with him and his wife, and just had a grand old time. We stayed in Phoenix like 3-4 days. 3 days. But it was awesome. I don't know how it is today, but in 1972, we're walking around downtown Phoenix, and I'm noticing. I said, there's trash. There's no cigarette butts in the gutter or on the sidewalk. I mean, it was clean. We're talking, big city, tall buildings, all of that, Yes, I know. Amy, you're correct. The streets were so clean, and I mentioned it to Steve's uncle. And he said, oh yeah. He says every day, the local prisoners come and pick up any trash. They walk around with sticks and bags and pick up trash. Yeah, I don't know how it is today, but back then, Phoenix, Arizona was the cleanest city I'd ever been in, period. Even Holland, Michigan, where they wash the streets with brooms and scrub brushes, It's only one day a year in May for the tulip parade. But even Holland, Michigan, you know, Kleenex people that they are, no. Yeah, I've heard other people say that, Linda. Phoenix is pretty easy to find your way around. So yeah, so after Phoenix, this is cool. We left in the morning, and by the evening of that day, we were coming into San Diego, and it was just getting dark, and the lights and the hills it was just incredible, absolutely incredible. And we found a campground before it got too late. Um, didn't have to pay for it till the next day, and we stayed in that campground on the ocean. We were there 4 days, I think. Yeah, 4 days. We totally enjoyed it. Went, rented surfboards, flow. As said, California dreaming. Well, our dream had come true. We made it to California, and it was just absolutely incredible in San Diego. Yeah. Uh, we, I don't know. Steve actually did pretty good, but me, no. Yeah. I fell more than I was up for sure, but it was still fun. I mean, it's December, and we're swimming in the ocean. Nobody else was. We didn't see anybody else. It was too damn cold for the local people. Yeah, San Diego was definitely beautiful. Um, would I go there again? I think I might. I think I might. Uh, then we worked our way up along coast, headed north, and we went through Los Angeles. It took us like all day. Never been in such a monster city as Los Angeles. From south to north, along the coast. I mean, the ocean was on our left hand side all the way, and then finally, we got through Los Angeles. We didn't worry about going to Hollywood or any of those places. We didn't really care. We liked it alongside the ocean. We stopped at one point and made lunch, some sandwiches and stuff, and just dipped our toes in the water and looked around. It's cool. Um, Malibu was interesting, kind of ritzy for sure. We just kept on heading north and got up by I think it was, I want to say Carmel, but not sure. Um, anyways, we found another place to park overnight. Then we continued on, and our next goal was San Francisco. And we made it to San Francisco. And I had friends there from Michigan, but they had an apartment. And it was a big enough apartment that for 3-4 days, we stayed there with them. Had a great time. Had a great time. They were friends of mine from Bay City, Michigan. Steve actually did not know them. They were friends of mine, so that was nice. He had a ball too. Well, I think it was the second day. Both of my friends, they had to go to work, so we're like, okay, well, find something to do. So we're just out walking around up and down the hills of San Francisco, and I forget where we were, but all of a sudden this taxi cab pulls over, and we're like, no, we're fine, we're walking. She says, where are you from? It was a lady, a very pretty lady. Says, we're from Michigan. She says, hop in, it's free. What? Hop in, no charge. So I hopped in the front seat, and Steve hopped in the back, and this lady was very pretty. She's a little older than we were. She's probably about 22. 23, something like that. But extremely pretty. It's just, yeah, I rent this cab by the day and go make some money. So, okay. Just, but for you guys, I could tell you from out of town. How about a tour? Yes. She took us, I think we were in her cab for like 6 hours, driving all over San Francisco. We went to Fisherman's Wharf, and I did get some Ghirardelli chocolate. And there was a gift shop there, and I thought, you know what? I got to get my mom something for Christmas. And I did. I bought this Gallo wine bottle. It was shaped like a gourd almost, well, kind of a skinny neck, and then it comes out and it gets real round. I think it was Gallo white wine. But it had been made into a terrarium. So, black dirt in it, and then all these cool plants growing in it, some tiny ferns and some other type of grasses and some, I don't know what it was. It might have been a begonia, or it was pretty. I knew my mom would love it. So I bought that for her. I don't know Frederick, but I do. I dreamed about it last night too. So, and my gosh, this time has gone fast. Of course, I had the interruptions with Holly, but oh well. Pier 39, yes, I do remember that. See now, Frederick, Scott remembers more than I do. We spent some time after we left San Francisco proper. We spent some time. I'm trying to remember the name of the mountain that's on the north side, and it's a national park. And they have these huge, huge pine trees. And we didn't stay overnight in that park. We were there for the day, and then we left in the evening. But it was beautiful. And you weren't allowed to collect the pine cones. That was illegal. However, this park ranger, we were the only ones around. Nobody was at the park. It's too cold. We're out there in t-shirts. Park ranger comes along. He's wearing a jacket. Where are you guys from? Well, point to the license plate. We're from Michigan. I says, I've never seen such monster pine cones. I say, here in Michigan, we're lucky if they're 6 inches long at the most, and this thing was huge. It was just sitting there on the ground. But we knew that they had to stay there. I guess you boys know the rules. Yeah, we do. We know we can't take them. I didn't see anything. Enjoy. And he got in this Jeep and drove away. Steve and I each grabbed one. Stashed them away in the van. Yeah, I knew that, Linda. I've never seen a redwood. Probably in my future. When we were in California, we did not go to the redwood forest. From San Francisco, we had friends that lived in Vacaville, which is, well, that was a picture of Vacaville, the Pina Adobe Park, National Park. I don't know if it's a national park or might be a state park, but anyways, beautiful park. Anyways, yeah, we drove up to Vacaville and met up with our friends from Michigan. He was from California, but he traveled to Michigan, and at some point he met one of our schoolmates, Maureen, and she was a beautiful lady. And sure enough, they got married, and she moved back with him out to California. And they had this little cabin, pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. Well, farmland, farming community. and it had these rolling hills, and would take waxed cardboard and slide down these hills like it was sledding on the grass. It was beautiful. Stella Luna. Vacaville, I'm speaking your language? Okay, yeah. It was beautiful. Fortunately, they had a radio station that they were predicting very cold weather for that night. Normally Vacaville in December is 40s, 50s, and it doesn't freeze. But the weather forecast for the next couple days was freeze at night. We're talking 20 degrees overnight. And now, Maureen and her husband are looking at us like, you brought this cold with you from Michigan, didn't you? And you've released it upon us. And I only have 9 minutes more to go here, and I better hurry. So, anyways, we went out and gathered wood. Now, they didn't have, all they had for heat was a fireplace, which hardly ever got used unless it was a romantic evening or something, But that was it, And sure enough, by 8 o'clock at night, we were glad that we had gathered up as much wood as we could. Interestingly enough, a lot of it was pepper tree wood. Wow, does that smell good when it's burning? It's like burning apple. I mean, it was great smelling wood. So it was cold. The pipes froze. Couldn't use the toilet. I mean, it was bad. We had gathered up water, and kept it close to the fireplace for drinking. Maureen, being from Michigan, like Steve and I, was like, yeah, get prepared. So we had prepared earlier in the day. Michigander man, welcome aboard. We survived. I remember at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what you do at 3 o'clock in the morning. I went outdoors, and the sky was just absolutely gorgeous. It was just so beautiful, illumination of stars. And all of a sudden, from the east, I just happened to be facing east. I saw this light flash, and I thought, well, I wonder what that was. 3 or 4 seconds later, it flashed again, only it was like, what? And I'm kind of trying to focus. I'm looking up, and then it's right above me, and it flashed. And it's going west. Boom, flash again. Boom, flash again. Boom, gone. How long did that take me to tell the story? What was that? For me, it was my first UFO. I mean, satellites don't go that fast. Well, and the light wasn't, red and blue or nothing like that. None of those kind of lights. It was just a flash of white light, and it was gone. In the matter of 5 seconds, it went from horizon to horizon. Okay, I'm just saying. I did not see E.T., but I saw something, and I can't tell you what it was. So, anyways, that was Vacaville, and certainly enjoyed our stay. And then a couple days later, we started heading back to Michigan. Now, we wanted to be home by Christmas. So, fun time was pretty much over with. It was drive. I'd sleep, Steve would drive, and then he'd sleep and I would drive. Along about, I think we were in Texas someplace, not near Borger. We didn't go back to Mrs. King's. We just kept on rolling along. And Oh boy, UFOs. Starry-eyed Earthman. I knew you'd like that. That's why I brought it up. Anyways, along the way, we discovered that our starter went out on the van. It just kicked the bucket. Well, we didn't really have enough money to go put it on another starter. And actually, why would we? It's a stick shift. Roll it, pop the clutch, and keep on driving. So I got woke up rudely. It was 2 o'clock in the morning in Oklahoma. I was asleep. Steve was driving. Mr. Long Blonde Hair, Steve. He's driving and got off 44 in Oklahoma City looking for a gas station. Hopefully finding an open gas station because we needed fuel. Well, he didn't even make it. No, he got gas. He'd left the van running, got gas, then pulled out of the gas station and was heading back to 44. Got pulled over. And, it's 35 degrees, and I'm standing outside in my underwear while these police officers search the van. And I mean totally search the van. Finally, one of the officers here handed me a jacket. Well, it helped a little bit, Anyways, thank you, Stella. That's interesting. Anyways, they placed us under arrest. Now Steve is pissed. Why? They took us to jail. Well, why? They had the van towed to the parking lot at the police department. And from what I understand, they continued to search. Well, at one point in time when I'm standing out there freezing, they found that terrarium, the Gallo rose bottle, Gallo wine bottle with the plants in it. Oh, they thought they had just struck pay dirt. Hey, they got pot in here. I mean, these. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I'm afraid I might be stepping on toes here pretty soon. Is Northwoods coming on after me? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to check. If anybody can put up the link to whoever is coming on next. I know Corey had surgery, so I don't know if he's back home yet. I'm sure he is probably, but don't know if he's well enough to do a live stream. Hope he is, but anyways, whoever is coming on at noon, and I'll be seeing you guys tonight at 7 p.m. In between Nomadic Hippie and not Mark is filling in for them. So in between Nomadic Hippie, who comes on at 6, I come on at 7 for half an hour, the Dr. Fill-in show, and then James says that Corey is still in the hospital. Wow. Okay. So I don't know who's coming on at noon, but I know that I need to get off here in a few more minutes. Just because I got to go to Bob's house. I got tons of stuff I got to do between now and 7 o'clock, as usual. I wanted to go see Terry, my sticker guy, graphics, everything guy, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm going to be quite busy. Anyways, Oklahoma, arrested, thrown in jail. Steve was livid, absolutely livid. I kept telling him, calm down. You gotta calm down. You're getting upset, man. It's just gonna make it worse. Just stop. You don't be hollering at these police officers or nothing like that. just stop. And he was all about, our rights are stepped on. And I mean, and I agreed with him, but I'm like, just shut up. Kind of like back in that bar. Oklahoma is somehow not, I don't know. Back then it wasn't my favorite state. Let's put it that way. And it certainly wasn't Steve's. Anyways, well, yeah. Neither one of us got any rest. He was too mad, and I had already been resting. It should have been my turn to drive, Well, 7 o'clock in the morning, the day sergeant comes on duty, relieves the nighttime sergeant, and next thing you know, the chief came in too, and we could hear him talking, and because it's just a small jail somewhere in Oklahoma City, it wasn't no big, huge county jail or nothing. This is like a city police department jail. There was like maybe four or six cells in it. Who knows? But they gave us breakfast, and the police chief came back. He says, "Your boys are from Michigan?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And Steve, like I had told him, kept his mouth shut. And he says, "Well, what?" He says, "My guys here said that they pulled you over on suspicion." So I have no idea, sir. I was asleep. Steve was driving. He says, "Well, there's nothing in their report here that says that it was just suspicion." I said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, sir. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we're just on our way home. Want to get home by Christmas." "Well, where you been?" "Well, we traveled to California. It was a thing, and we enjoyed it very much. We've enjoyed our time in Oklahoma, as a matter of fact, on our way out." Well, that was a lie, but but anyways, he says, there's no reason for you guys being in jail. He says, he unlocks the door. He says, "Have a safe trip." "Thank you, sir." "Thank you, sir." Now, remember, the van starter is out. Guess who had to push us to get us started out of the police department parking lot? The two officers that had arrested us. Yes, they started the van. Bye-bye, Oklahoma. We made it home in about, I don't know, about 20 more hours we were home. Made it home in time for Christmas. And yes, Mom loved that terrarium that I got for her. All right, folks. Yeah, poetic justice it was. I'll never forget it. And not long after we got back into Michigan, the weather warmed up out in California. So apparently it was our fault. We were in California. They had the coldest winter on record in 1972 because we were there. All right. Thank you all for being here. Certainly appreciate it. And, I'll see you tonight, God willing, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meanwhile, fair winds. Big smiles, everybody. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Think of the clock. It's 10 minutes after 10. Big smile. That's why they advertise clocks that way, by the way. It's to give you a good feeling, and you're going to buy that clock because it says it's 10 minutes after 10. It's a smile face. That's a very true story. And of course, may God bless. Thank you, mateys.